Hey there, friends. A couple of you who I just got off on a video call with are going, "You're actually making the video? Like, you're really doing this? Like, is this for real?" Yes, it's for real. My name is Paul DeBeddings, online known as Minnesota Headhunter. For those of you who are like, "Who's this dude?" I'm live in my, not live, well, live now, recorded, right? From my studio in my living room. Why am I doing this video? I've been told all week that I've been really opinionated and a lot of things on my mind that have been highly entertaining, and that I should start taking my own advice, which is always a hard thing to do. And I'll come back to that in a minute. Here's your scoop. It's the middle of the year. I always get highly reflective this time of the year. Summer solstice, right? We're 5 days on the other side of the longest days of the year. Not that we would notice it yet. But I get really reflective in summer. And two, right, we're coming up halftime of the year. And there's a little thing that's going to happen next week. It's actually not really going to be a thing. It's not really going to happen much because things have changed, right? But I turn 50 next Wednesday. And so I decided that, yes, indeed, I'm going to start doing the video that I promised people I was going to start doing at the beginning of the year, that I was advising other people to do, and other people have done quite well. And so again, Paul's going to start taking his own advice. So here's the deal. I ramble a lot. I tend to talk in stories. I tend to do this. My friends who see me do speaking opportunities are like, "You're like a conductor." Yes, yes, I am. So mid-year reflection. I'm going to have a blog post next Monday about recruiter jobs. How, if you are familiar, like if you've been paying attention to the economy, many of you more now than you used to be, job reports, job numbers tend to be lagging economic indicators. Stock market tends to be a leading economic indicator. Recruiter jobs also tend to be a leading economic indicator. And so I'm going to do a blog post next Monday about where are we now from the past 3 months, including the month of June, like where are recruiter jobs at this summer. Probably also do a little talking next week about the economy, where I see jobs, the economy, how people are going to be doing as the year goes on. Some of this is like anecdotal, some of it's some statistics, some of it's from what I'm hearing from people and seeing and like looking at job posts and metrics and things. So mid-year reflection. Personally, my mid-year reflection is this, is that I wrote a blog post at the end of March. And it was about, I was seeing a lot of people talking about COVID-19, and was this our greatest generation moment? Was like this our World War II thing? Or was this our another version now of 9/11? And what would we tell our kids or those around us? What would we tell them? And if you're hearing dings, I apparently forgot to turn off my notifications before I started recording this. But anyway, like what would we say to people that we did during this time? Did we just waste away? Did we just take a vacation, sit on the couch and watch Netflix? Did we just hop on Facebook and bitch about politics? Sorry for the language. Like what would we do during this time? And I was doing really well March and April. I started second, third, fourth, fifth guessing everything that I was doing come the beginning of May through the middle of June. And so I've had this sort of picture or thing going on in my brain about how I've been playing really small during those 6 weeks. And so I need to start taking my own advice. During startup week last October, 3 different times, 3 people who wouldn't know each other, who I had spent some time with during the week to give them idea about like either was their job, their career, funding, recruiting, whatever it was. And I was actually giving them really good advice and really, really solid things to be able to do. And independently, each of the 3 who don't know each other on 3 different days and times said, "When are you going to start taking your own advice?" That has set in again at the beginning of June. So that's sort of my mid-year reflection sort of stuff. One of the things I'm going to do starting next week, I was going to do it at the beginning of 2020, was to bring back presentations that I did during the Great Recession 10, 12 years ago, called Be Your Own Headhunter. I need to redo the logo. I need to update the slide decks. But starting next week, meaning the 29th of June, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to be doing Be Your Own Headhunter presentations as a Zoom, 4 different sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4. First one is going to be, and I don't know what the dates and times are yet. You'll have to see the promo video for that. Promo video. That sounds so cool. Like I'm an internet marketer. I'm not. But the idea is this: 4 different sessions. One's going to be dedicated towards coding boot camp, recent college, university grads in the tech space, how to find your first job. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be a very general tech, not very general, a tech product, digital design, sort of my tech startup Fortune 500 recruiting space that I do. I'm going to be doing one specifically for those folks who have been laid off, furloughed, otherwise actively looking for a job like right now. The third one I'm going to do is for everyone else in that same category, those who have been laid off, furloughed, whatever, for whatever reason, doing active job search right now during this COVID-19 shutdown thing, how to actively do a job search. So the idea is be your own headhunter. Everyone always asks me, like, Paul, like how can you find me a job, or like how do I find jobs? Well, this is my version of teaching. Those first 3 are a fee optional thing. I originally was going to do these as a fee, create an additional revenue stream for Paul, Minnesota Headhunter, at the beginning of the year. I didn't. Then COVID happened. The killing of George Floyd paused me too, because I wasn't sure how to do it, how to promote it, if it was good timing or not. It's now. It's the beginning of Q3. It's the last half of 2020. It's time to go. So there are fees for those. You can pick a fee. You can pay the one. If times are tight, don't sweat it. Just 0. I don't care. But I want to get the content out. The 4th one is one for those who have a job. You feel like you're good. You think you're safe. But you want to start actively, you're doing a passive job search, right? Or you're planning on doing one in the fall, you're planning on one doing in the winter. I'm going to back it up to now. Here's how to plan this out. Here are all the things to be doing. There is a fee for that one. Also then this weekend, depending on the weather and fishing on the dock, I'm also putting together a series of blog posts with 4 different subjects. The first one, it's going to be an all-encompassing LinkedIn, like written out presentation, like here's how I use LinkedIn. Here's how I would do it if I were you. Second one's going to be on networking. Third one's going to be on resumes and cover letters. The 4th one's going to be a touch on personal branding. So the idea is do those 4 things, read that content, then come and look at the webinars. So that's kind of a long thing about, in this video, I didn't plan on going on that long about this, but this is me taking my own advice and giving the advice that I've been doing with folks one-on-one for the last months, and doing it on more of a scalable thing. Last, probably most important, at least to me, there is a young lady, Lily, down in Fort Worth, Texas, that calls me Uncle Paul. And while we're not related by blood, we certainly are chosen family. Lily, last week, Lily and I had a conversation where she wanted some job search advice. She's 16. She was going to have an interview the next day at Starbucks. It was her first interview. It was a little bit of not so much mock interview, but I'm like, you know, hey, Lily, this is what I would do if I were you. By the way, she already had it nailed. She didn't need much help from me anyway. She had her interview the next day. She's 1 for 1. Lily got her job at Starbucks. She starts today. Also last week was on the same day, she went and passed her driver's permit test, which probably has her parents bonkers. But Lily, I just wanted to say I love you. I am so proud of you. I hope you're having a good first day at work. I miss you all desperately. It's been a year since we've seen each other. Well, in person, right? I'm hoping we can change that much sooner than later. But if not, Lily, I love you and I adore you, and I hope this first day has been amazing for you. For everyone else, I hope that you've had that. Sorry, that's me grabbing my mouse so I can hit the stop button. That wasn't very subtle, was it? I hope you all have a good weekend. I hope that maybe you can get some time for reflection too, to figure out what do you want to do in the second half of 2020. And undoubtedly, this will not be the last video, and I will take my own advice. Thanks. Have a good day.